In this video, I'm going to show how to take a quick look at seasonality for an entire symbol list, and then how to drill down into a particular symbol's seasonality. So first off, I'm going to find the seasonal analysis category in EdgeRater, and I'm going to select seasonality by month as my template. I'm going to run this against the CBOE weeklies list, and I'm just going to hit run. As that goes through, it's going to process all of those symbols, and it will come up with the final report. And here's the report broken down by symbol, and because we're in March now, I'm going to look at which of those stocks have best seasonality in March. So I'm going to click on number of up years, and I can see that I have 10 years of data, and we're not including the current March, so it's all the previous Marches. And so there's a total of 9 if you add the up years and the down years together. Now, a high average in here is Conagra Brands. That comes to the very top of the CAG. So what I want to do here is drill down into this seasonality a bit more. This report shows very quickly the stocks that have good seasonality in any of the months, and you can sort and filter this report as you like. But sometimes when you found something that has good seasonality, it's a good idea, if you're interested in trading it, to go and find a little bit more detail. So I'm going to show how to do that. Go back over to templates, select trade simulation, and select trade simulation batch run. The defaults in this template are good in terms of the daily returns. We're going to do a run based on daily returns for the entire history in the symbol list. But I'm going to change the output folder so that I recognize this in my reports folder. I'm just going to change it to sim, I'll call it sim CAG, because we're going to look at Conagra Brands. And I'm going to say do not override dates. So we use the entire data in the symbol list. Now I'm not going to run this against all these symbols, so I'm going to uncheck the entire list, and I'm going to just find CAG. Control F will give you this little find window, and then if I highlight or check CAG, this is the only symbol checked in my entire list now, so I can now run the daily returns. And this is very quickly going to report on the entire history of Conagra Brands in my list, and that's 2,516 bars, or 10 years of data. And in this summary, you can just see that when you're looking at close-to-close pricing, there were 51.71% winning trades over that entire period. And by trades in this case, because we're looking at close-to-close price, there were 51.71% positive close-to-close, daily close-to-close results. But now what I want to do is break that down into seasonal days. So this is the daily results, and now I want to break those daily results down into their component seasonalities. So I'll go back over to templates. I'll select my multi-factor trade analysis, and the trade factor analysis I'm going to be using is a seasonal analysis, so my tag layout is seasonal here. But first off, I need to select the simulation reports. These are the reports that were just produced, and remember we put them in the sim_CAG folder, and I'm just going to select trade simulation close to close. That's the entire list of the daily close to closes. I'll select that for here, and I'll choose to leave everything else the same, and I'll just hit run on this multi-factor analysis. Now what that's going to do is going to go through the entire list of those daily close-to-close trades, 2,516 bars. It's going to tag everyone with a seasonal tag, and then it's going to run Monte Carlo analysis on each of those individual tags. So here's that result. You can see that we've got the all trade simulation here, has a slightly positive final equity. Anything above 1 is a positive return. We know that that should be true because we already found out that there were 52% of positive trades in those 2,516 bars. And now it's broken it down also into the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weeks of the year, months of the year, years, days of the month, trading days of the month, and then finally trading days to end of month. Now this has all been, the tagging has all happened in the trade simulation file. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight this row, and I'll select open link to document. So in the linked document, you can see each of the trades for the entire symbol list goes from 2011 all the way down to 2021. And you can see the tagging has occurred over here in these columns. So for each trade, it's put the day of the week, the month, and so on. Now, we already found out in the seasonality template that March has good seasonality, with 8 up years, 1 down year, and an average of 6% gain. So let's filter this to the month of March. So I will unselect everything, and I'll just select March here. And now this list has been filtered to the month of March, and I can now order by PL%. Okay, so now I'm drilling down into every trading day in every March over the last 10 years. And I can then quickly see if it's green, it was a positive close to close, and if it's red, it was a negative close to close. Okay, so I can now get a quick idea of each of those trading days, and then I can double click on any of the rows here, and if I have highlighting turned on, I can find, and I'll turn on to daily bars here, and then I can find the actual trade. So you can see that the biggest percent gain here was a 1 day change of 12.75% happened over here. There's probably an earnings date. And as I go down through the list, you'll just see where all these big daily gains were. There were quite a few in 2020, it seems here. You can reverse sort, and then you can find the days that had the worst drops as well. And a lot of those happen to be in the same years, just indicates extreme volatility in those years, the Marches of those years. And you can get a quick idea from here as to the number of positive trades, the size of the returns, and the number of negative trades and the size of the returns. So it's always a good idea to come in here and take a look. But the template itself ran seasonality for all of the Marches. So if we just look at the month of March, and I'll just sort this by month, so I can easily find March in here. I could filter this as well, but let's just leave it as sorted for now. And here we have March is in this row, and you can see that there were 208 days of Marches over the last 10 years. And the final equity, after doing Monte Carlo simulations on those Marches, was 1.13. So that's better than the all trades result of 1.02. So Marches were definitely good. Now, was March the best month? The way to find that out would be to sort by final equity 50. We know it should be because we've already seen that in the summary, but let's sort by final equity 50 we'll do a descending sort, so the highest numbers are at the top. And then we'll just scan through the month column to find which month appears at the top. And so March was actually the best month for Conagra over those years, with a 1.13, as we already found, with a MD, and this is your drawdown percent, of 7.7%. So what we could do is say we do not want to see any of the star columns here, so we're just looking at all of the months, and we're forgetting all of the other tagging. We can see that the all trades number down here actually has a higher average drawdown. So actually March is pretty good for Conagra overall. So that's it. A quick 10-minute video on how to look at seasonality. We see that Conagra has good seasonality in March. We're currently in March. And if we take a look at the chart for Conagra, right now we can see where we stand. And I'll just open that up a bit, scroll to the very end, see where we are currently, add a few extra bars at the end here so we can scroll the chart, and we can see that so since August of 2020 there's been a downtrend, if you like, with some volatility, and we've now entered March here. This was the first bar of March, was right here. And so far March has actually been very positive for Conagra. So March ends are over here, so there might be some room left here, but If you had run this template at the beginning of March, then you already would have been alerted to the possibility of trading Conagra in March. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.